Hello everyone, welcome back to my review channel. Today I'm going to be doing another movie review. Nazis at the Center of the Earth, an Asylum release, starring Jake Busey, Dominique Swain. Yeah, let's see if I can hold this here long enough to get a good thumbnail. Nazis at the Center of the Earth, an Asylum release this year, 2012, straight to video. I like doing these because they're straight to video. I like to see how bad or like how good bad movies are. That's why I get like a bunch of these. That's why I like doing this. This, loosely based on a Wolfenstein 3D PC game. I say loosely because it's very little based on it. Basically, there's a couple of themes and a couple of things that happen that's kind of what happens in the game, but nothing really else. Other than that, it's also said that it's loosely based on another film, like I don't even know what it was called, Iron Sky or some bull. I don't really know what to say about that. But anyways, just a couple of things figured I'd mention. This film, I would just say, wasn't as bad as I kind of went into it thinking, hey, this is gonna be kind of cool. Nazis at the center of Earth, they look like zombies. Come to find out, these guys aren't even zombies. I would just mention that because on the cover, you can take a look at the cover, they all look like zombies. And that's what I thought I was getting into. A zombie, like Nazis at the center of the earth, they're all zombies. It even gives you a warning on the back. It's like big old warning, contains scenes of violence and nudity, gore involving zombies. These guys aren't zombies. So I don't like when movies portray stuff like that. It's just a false sense of what you're getting into. These guys aren't zombies, so don't go in this movie thinking they're zombies. But like I said, not a bad movie. So let's get into it. Let's give the reasons why. It is a bad movie, but not a bad. It's a good movie for being a bad movie. For being straight to video, being a straight to video release, a bad movie. It's not terrible. Not as terrible as I've seen before. So let's get on into it. Let's just go and start this. Starts off May 10th, 1945, Germany. It's like a Air Force base. They're getting on a plane and they start strapping this machine into the plane, and it takes off right when it's being attacked by the Allied forces. Actually, it doesn't even say. I don't even think it says where. Yeah, it doesn't even say where it is actually. So I'm sorry about that. It doesn't say it's in Germany. But all you know is that they're gathering up at this little one-plane Air Force base, puts a machine in the airplane, and it leaves, right when being attacked by Allied forces. May 10th, 1945, I looked this up. This is like 3 days after Germany surrenders to the Western Europe front. So it's only like 3 days after that. And I didn't look it up, but I should have. I couldn't even remember what day Hitler blew his brains out. But I think it was only I think it was in the same week. Like, he killed himself, then they surrender. And then May 10th, that's May 7th, and May 10th, this happens. So that happens, and then it goes in the present day. Present day Antarctica. Two top tier scientists are going on this expedition in Antarctica to find something. They're putting this metal pole in the ground. It stops, hits up the metal, and I swear to God, there's this drill that they're holding in the ground. It's drilling, stops. And then they go to see what it was. They don't have shovels. They just use their hands to just drag the snow out. Less than a foot of snow, probably just a couple inches of snow, is this piece of metal with a swastika on it. It's one of the first dumbest things I've had to see in this movie. You use your hands that's not a lot of snow. You obviously weren't digging that far if you get to use your hands on top of the snow. And it's Antarctica and it's pretty loose snow. But I think that was just really too silly. They need to be able to dig 10 feet down at least before you start saying that you found this. It's just funny to see this. It's like, oh man, we hit something. Wonder what it is. I better start digging with my hands. And just 2 inches down. It's like, okay, that was just too silly to begin with. Once that happens, they get abducted by what looks to be Nazi personnel, Nazi guard army personnel with gas masks on. So they capture who is the two doctors, Mark and Paige. Now, this goes to Dr. Rystad. Dr. Rystad, who is played by Jake Busey. So, yeah. I don't understand, like, him playing a doctor in this is kind of silly, but a scientist doctor. Not a doctor, but a scientist doctor. So he is, like, talking to all these other not kids, but other scientist guys that he's gathered about this expedition they're doing, and while they're here, he gets interrupted by another doctor. They go into another room, and they're talking about, like, how, who is this guy? Dr. Lucas Moss interrupts Dr. Rystad and takes to another room, and Moss goes off on her about, I don't want this to be like last 3 summers ago incident where Dr. Rystad gave everybody on accident the flu or like a bacteria disease or something. He doesn't want to turn into that again. And Dr. Rystad goes on to say, like, hey, we cured so many, like, thousands of people with that, what happened with that accident. So I don't know, I don't want to hear this from you. A doctor comes in, Dr. Yun, Mei Yun, which is almost Mei Young, if you're into wrestling. So it's kind of funny. So she's almost Mei Young, but she's Mei Yun. She comes in saying, hey, we lost contact with with Mark and Paige. Dr. Morgan, Dr. whatever his name is. So they go out to search for these 2 scientists. They're all in Antarctica anyway, so it doesn't really take them too far. Let me see. Inside, you get to see. Let me see. They find them. They find drag marks in the snow, and they follow the snow. They follow the drag marks in the snow. You get to, like, they come into this cave where the drag marks lead to, and another something stupid happens is one of the girls, like, Dr. Moss is about to go down there on a rope. He's like, you would do it for, basically he's looking for his girlfriend, Dr. Paige. That's like who she is to him. And he's going down there, and one of the doctors are like, don't forget this. They all have headlights on, little headlamps. And she's like, don't forget this, and turns it on for him. I'm sorry. Stupid dialogue moment here, because who's going to forget they have a headlamp on when it gets pitch black? Don't forget this. Don't forget it. No. They should have cut that out. That's one moment they should have cut out in there. Dumb as hell to me. I was just like, why even that dialogue? Don't forget to turn on the light that's connected to your forehead when it gets pitch black down there. And what's funny? When they get down there, none of their headlamps are on. What is going on? So they need a headlamp to go down there because it's dark. But when they get down there, none of their headlamps are on. And it's like full of light. Anyways. Let me see. They all get down there. And it's weird because you start to, like, one of them mentions that they feel heat coming from, like, that direction. And it's just like, no, man. It's a big cave. But anyways. Back to you get to see Paige and Mark captured. They're together. They're in the same room. They take Mark out. Take him to, like, the operating room. And cool gore part. Let me see. What is this? Sorry, I'm reading my notes. I keep looking down here. I have, like, a few pages. How did I skip over that part? Goes to the scientist. Mark is on the operating table. Scientist is about cutting them open, like right here. You don't know what's about to happen. He's like cutting them. And then he just, cool gore part, just rips his face off. Just like that. So it was pretty cool. Kind of a silly part coming up. Paige, like, they give her food with this silverware fork, and while the Nazi guard guy is walking out, she like chases after him. You think he's gonna she's gonna stab him in the back with the fork and like escape, but as the doors close, she puts the fork in the middle, and somehow she's able to open up the door here. It doesn't show how she's able to do this. It's just like it didn't show like a good one to me. I thought it was just pretty stupid. Anyway, she got out. She escapes. She's going down halls, and she finds what looks to be Mark on a table. Starts whispering to him, "It's gonna be okay. Are you okay? Are you?" He looks messed up, and she's whispering to him, "It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get out of this." It doesn't even seem like he's alive. But she's all like super calm, trying to be super calm about this. Another dumb part I didn't understand to me. She sees someone, she hears someone in another like gurney, on another gurney right next to him, opens up, and you get to see another cool part, gore part. Face from like all the way down to his waist is just no skin, just complete blood, and somehow he's alive. Whoa, what? Let me see. Gosh. I would love to try to end this quickly, but damn, it's taking forever. Let me see. Hey, wait. Okay, yeah. Then, when she sees the real Mark there, doesn't know, like, for real, it's the fake Mark with this, the Mark's face is on this fake dude, is on this other dude. So that's why she thought that's Mark. So he gets up right behind her, and so what she does is it surprises her. She tries to stab him, doesn't work, and punches him twice in the face. It would have been really cool if you punch this dude. He has someone else's fresh face on. If you punch him twice in the face, that face is coming off. That's what I believe. That's what it should have shown. Punched him so it should have just punched him where his face just kind of fell off. Didn't do that, so I didn't understand that part. Back to the scientist team that's trying to find these guys. Dr. Lucas, they find another cave that goes even further down. Lucas goes down himself first, with Dr. Reinstein saying, "No, you shouldn't. But if you do, we'll have this rope, and if you get too far down, we'll pull you back up." He goes down into the rope, and then just nothing. They pull up the rope, and he's not there. So another doctor decides to go down there to search for him. Same thing happens. The thing is, you get to see what happens to her. She unhooks herself, and then she goes out. It's like you slide down this long tube, ice tube, and then she sees Dr. Lucas just standing on an edge of a cliff, overlooking like what seems to be just a large landmass with like a structure in the middle of it, under all this ice. Let me see. Okay. Switches back to the doctors with Dr. Page and the Nazi scientist. One doctor talks to Dr. Page while she's strapped to the gurney, the Nazi doctor, where you've seen this doctor at the very beginning. This is the same Nazi scientist that was in the very beginning of the movie. So Page is trying to talk to this Nazi scientist. Scientist realizes she's a doctor of sorts, and she decides, they just talk. He's looking at her, measuring her. You kind of think what's going on. It doesn't come to fruition about what he was actually looking at with her. But you come to find out she's German descent, Aryan. Let me see. Yes, go back. Oh, okay. Funny part in this, when he's talking to her, he has these gloves on, and he stretches out these gloves, like a regular doctor would do. That he's like, and it snaps back. These are not the gloves to do that. You need regular latex gloves. He has vinyl gloves on, and he does this, and they don't snap back, and it's hilarious to watch this. The director was completely retarded to let this happen. In my opinion, completely retarded to let some of this stuff happen and get away with it. This is what Hollywood believes is okay. But whatever. Apparently, anyone can be a director. This is what I think with like movies like this. A baby could make like better movies. It's a thought process, dude. Just it's latex glove. You could still buy those anywhere. You could steal a pair from like the hospital. Find it somewhere. I think they use vinyl actually nowadays, but you could find a pair at Walmart, completely latex. But no, he tried to make a joke out of snapping vinyl gloves. It's just stupid. God, I need to keep this going. Let me see. Group shows up together on the ledge. The scientist, Dr. Reichstadt, boss, everybody, they show up on the ledge, go overlooking the mountainside. They go down there. They're all in, all of a sudden, when they're at the ledge, they're in civilian clothes now. What? Why are they in civilian clothes? Because they, all of a sudden, they walk down the mountain and it's like warm temperature and they're like in a forest now with a trail leading to the structure. No. I don't believe... Don't give them regular clothes already. They're casual clothes. They're scientists, bro. Nobody wears... No scientist wears rarely casual clothes underneath their lab coats and stuff. It's just usually... I mean, these guys are acting like they're kids when they should be, like, in their 20s, 30s. Really. Let me see. So they head to the structure on this dirt path in their casual clothes. All of a sudden, like while they're on the ledge, Dr. Reichstadt, Jake Busey, goes on this spiel about World War II trivia. Out of nowhere. World War II trivia. Okay. I understand you're just trying to set up the plot here, but that just came out of nowhere. It's just like, let's talk about World War II real quick. No. They go to the structure, they walk inside, and you get to see it. It looks like the airfield that is at the beginning of the movie, where the plane took off. So that's where they were at. This is where they were at, underneath Antarctica when this happened. They get inside the structure, and then they get surrounded by Nazi personnel and the doctor scientist guy. They all have future guns with them. Terrible looking guns. Whoever made this obviously took old computers, ripped them apart, and put the computer boards on the gun, and just glued them there. That's all it was. And they just glued little power boards or whatever to the gun, to these fake guns, and this is the future gun. That's what it is. I mean, it was really funny to see that kind of stuff. Now, let's keep going. Nazis at the center there. They're surrounded by the Nazis. Future gun. More explanation here. This is where you get more explanation. You get to find out Dr. Reichstadt has been working with the Nazis. Big surprise! Jake Busey is a bad guy. Big surprise here. I was hoping he'd be a good guy. I like to see him as a nice guy on occasion. You know, he wasn't really a bad guy in Starship Troopers. He was one of the dudes. He just acted a little crazy. You can still act crazy and still be a good guy. But anyways, big surprise. Jake Busey's a bad guy. He explains that, Dr. Reichstadt has been captured before, but to save his own life, he brings in others to sacrifice for him. He sacrifices others, brings others so he can survive. But all these scientists, since they're at the top of their class, they're here for a different reason, to help Nazi scientists trying to perfect their formula. Now, let me see. More explanation on here, Dr. Luke's morning. Okay, yeah, let me see, no. You come to find out that the Nazi scientist, the doctor, is actually Joseph Mengele. History has told us he's died in 1972 or something, and it mentions that in the movie. He really was a Nazi officer back in World War II or whatever. So this is a real dude, but this is supposed to be Joseph Mengele. One of the scientists is a Jew, and he automatically gets killed. He's like, oh, the Jewish guy. Bam! Didn't see that coming. Another one of the doctors, Dr. Moss, is there. Obviously, he's looking for his girlfriend. He's like, I'm not going to help you. He's about to get killed when Paige comes in, Dr. Paige Morgan, and saves his life. She's in total Nazi ghetto. More explanations. Then they all go into a cell together. You never put these guys in a cell together. You're just asking for trouble. They're getting a cell together. I think this was a good part because it's the first dynamic between like the conversation goes, should we do what's right or should we survive? I think this was probably the best part of the movie, and it's all dialogue here. No, it's hard to say the best part, but it's a really good part to me. Even putting in the bad acting and maybe even the bad dialogue, I think it was really good because it puts in everything in perspective. And I like the fact that these scientists have to debate whether they want to survive and live because they're scientists. They're not fighters, you know. They're not fighters. So it's either survive and do what they work with these guys who are evil, or die, get killed by them. So I thought that was a pretty good part. Let me see. Doctors get walked to the. Okay, yeah. The doctors get walked to the patient with Mark's face on, and the Mangala goes on to say, like, this isn't working, look at the face, like, pus is coming. And then Dr. Moss, like, goes into science, like, doctor mode, and is like, this is why. And he goes and just picks up a syringe filled with green stuff, like he knew what it was, automatically. It's like, this is what you need. He doesn't get it from anywhere, it's just laying on the table. He picks it up and he puts it in like he knew exactly what it was. No. I don't, that was stupid to me. Just because, as a doctor, as this is brand new, you just walk into this, you don't automatically know what everything is and where it's at. But obviously he did, and that just questions it to me. So, doctors explain about how they're trying to get away with, like, bacteria and, like, human decay, like, flesh decay and stuff. They want to survive. They want this flesh to, like, stop decaying. All their skin is like dark black, so you think they're zombies. I don't believe they're zombies. It never mentions as zombies, like I said. I just take it as they got frostbite. I mean, they've been living in Antarctica since whatever, the 40s, and that's what I take it. It's like all their skin's decaying because they have frostbite. I think that's the only reason. That's how I explain it. That's what it looks like to me, anyway. So, while in the lab, Dr. Yun passes a pair of scissors to Dr. Moss. I think this was a very dumb fucking scene because they're all doctors in this same room. He could reach the damn scissors himself if he wanted to. They're trying to make it play off like she's trying to help Dr. Moss and everybody escape, but this is seen by one of the other doctors, and this plays on ahead. Again, that was a dumb scene. I think passing scissors discreetly was dumb as hell. It's just like they're all doctors in the same room. If he wanted the damn scissors, he could have got it himself. Period. It was just stupid. Stupid dynamic, but it pushes the film along. And this is where it pushes the film along to. Right after that happened, they all get escorted to some place, but then they get separated, male and females, and you get to see where the females go. They all go to the showers. Uh-oh, we all know what that means. We all know what history class, what the Nazi showers pertain to. So now you get this bad, terrible, like, music with slow motion to it, with all three girls are, like, holding hands, crying, thinking they're going to die. It was a pretty dumb thing. I don't know why. It should have been better. But anyways, they get there. You figure that basically the chick that saw Dr. Young pass the scissors, she sells out Dr. Young, basically. And her name's Dr. Legason. Dr. Legason sells out Dr. Young, and basically this is what happens. Actually, this is pretty fucked up stuff. Dr. Young gets transported to the operating table, for one. And the other girl, that's not Dr. Legason, the other girl, they strip off her top, so she's there, like, half naked, being somewhat tortured. She has this tattoo on her arm that one of the messed up guards like, and this is where you see first they take off their mask. You see their whole faces all messed up. Dr. Reichstad comes in with Mangala. Let me see. The doctors are led. Yeah. Separate showers, moss spines. Yeah. Okay. After, like, while they're in the shower, after they take Dr. Young out and Dr. Legason and Dr. Reichstad leaves, basically Mangala tells these like group of zombie officers to have their way with the other doctor while she's half naked. Basically, you could just assume she gets raped off screen here. It's pretty fucked up stuff, in my opinion. But good, you know, it's good to be messed up in this type of movie. But yeah, she pretty much gets raped by these fucking zombie Nazis. It's pretty messed up stuff. Why? I don't know, because they're all supposed to be helping them anyway. Next scene, you get to see Dr. Legason, who's sold out the doctors, basically. In a corner, freaking out. Dr. Moss sees her, picks her up, walks her down the hall. You get to see one of the Nazi uniform guys with the tattoo, that chick's tattoo on his neck. Holding a like, pushing a body along, dead body. Don't know who it is yet. But you pretty much assume it's Dr. Whatever her name was with the tattoo that's on his neck now. Let me see. Those two scientists get escorted to another gurney operation table, which has Dr. Young in it. Dr. Young on it, still alive with her brain exposed. This rubs Dr. Moss the wrong way, and Dr. Reichstad tells him to leave, and he gets escorted out. Dr. Reichstad, while Dr. Young is still alive on the table, extracts spinal fluid, what you guess to be spinal fluid, from her, through her head. So you get to, that was pretty cool gore part. Pretty cool. Puts this liquid in a machine. Machine doesn't work. Mangala gets mad because it's like, you said it would work. And he's like, I said it probably will work. Dr. Legason, right there, throws up. Dr. Reichstad freaks out. He's like, you've never been nauseous before in your life. What is wrong with you? She's like, I know, I'm pregnant. And he's like, you think there's a bit of, like, you know, compassion for her. He's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you tell me this? And then he just knocks her out. Punches her right in the face and knocks her out. She wakes up on a gurney, strapped down. And Dr. Reichstad and Mangala are actually performing you guessed it, an abortion on her. Using, like, a vacuum, basically. Really fucked up stuff right here. This is probably one of the more messed up moments of this movie. Completely off screen, but you know what's going on. Dr. Reichstad and Mangala go to the machine, puts more fluid in it. You don't know where it's from. I don't even know where they got more fluid at, because Dr. Legason's still alive. And probably the fluid from the fetus, as messed up as it sounds. But it's probably that. So, puts more fluid in the machine. Machine turns on. And out, like, the machine just, like, starts to, like, you know, components are working. And turns up to, like, a big robot thing. And the metal component, like, opens up to reveal Hitler's head. Hitler's head. So now Hitler's head's on a big robot machine. Dr. Moss, Dr. Moak, Dr. Maynard walked out. Dr. Reichstad and Dr. Morgan and Mangala right behind them. Hitler raises up on a platform and gives a speech. Mangala tells that the doctors are no longer needed. That means they're basically going to get killed and shot. One of the doctors tries to run for it. He's about to get shot when Hitler says stop, and he just jumps with one leap all the way to where he's at. A kind of a funny moment to me. Stabs him, like really cuts off his skull, plucks it on the end of his little knife, and like holds it in the air, like, you know, parading it around. Like, I got this doctor's head. Kind of funny. Okay, Dr. Moss is on table. Dr. Morgan sets to operate on her like boyfriend. And then you get to see the captain, the Hitler is in like the captain's seat, and this UFO type ship raises from the structure. So operation is about to begin on Dr. Moss, and the Dr. Page can't do it. She can't seem to like do it, so she basically cuts him. Oh, God. Dr. Page cuts the straps off Dr. Moss, cuts open the neck of Mangala, who was right there, so just slices it, and then like Rambo, Dr. Moss takes the scissors out from his pocket, which no one decided to see, because the scissors are obviously out of his pocket, but no one sees it. Takes it out, and with one toss, goes right into the Nazi officer's neck. Like Rambo. This guy's a scientist, but he tosses it like a pro. No. God, sorry this has taken so long. There's so much about this movie. They leave the room to look for Mark. They find Mark in this room, completely no skin and no legs, begging to be put out of his misery. So instead of shooting him in the face, like they were going to do, and just completely annihilate him, which I thought was pretty humane, they decide, or like Dr. Page decides to put an air bubble in his IV. Now that means I'm not a doctor or anything, but I think that means you get it'll give you a heart attack. It'll make your heart explode if there's an air bubble in it. That seems pretty fucked up, torturous to me compared to just like a shot in the brain. I think she just pretty much tortured him. It didn't make any sense to put him out of his misery to make him feel more pain. Besides the fact that he's still alive with no skin on and nothing, they didn't give him morphine or anything. That's that question. But again, a good gore shot. Airplane almost collides with the UFO ship. They get out from the bottom of Antarctica. They flip through. They're on they just hit the land. So an airplane almost hits them. And you find out it's an actual military airplane. So they try to fight the ship, and basically doesn't happen, and the ship crashes. There's a firefight with Lucas and the guards while they try to escape. Military planes try to fight the UFO. Let me see, they fire missiles at it, and missiles get stopped. And yeah, the plane crashes. The UFO fires an EMP blast, which completely annihilates the plane. Sends it to a straight up spiral down. Page finds an escape route. Dr. Moss drops canisters down the stairs. Soldiers shoot at it and things explode. Another dumb part, I swear to God, you push. It all happened in a moment, but they were able to get out of the way and just make a good explosion scene of them jumping away. It happened in a moment, but they were far enough away to survive that explosion. It was dumb. They didn't show much, because once he pushed it down the stairs, it went into slow motion and the guys start firing, and I thought it was dumb. Anyways, finds an escape route. Let me see. Registered, Dr. Reistad tells Hitler that the Americans have escaped. So the group's fighting with the scientists in a bomb factory. You to see the bomb factory. That's when they put two and two together and realize that the Nazis have been trying to make this bacteria, put it in the bombs, and spread around the world, basically. So it's a flesh-eating bacteria. So the group fights with the scientist. Scientist gets exposed to the flesh-eating bacteria. Kind of a cool part. Page and Lucas figure out that putting the bombs. Finds lifeboats down here. So lifeboats was really a lifeboat ship. But they find lifeboats, and then one of the other doctors, there's only three now, Dr. Page, or Dr. Page Morgan, Dr. Lucas Moss, and this other doctor. They're about to leave with the lifeboats, and then Hitler shows up and just kills that third doctor real quick. Whew. Remember that. Finds lifeboat, other doctor gets stabbed, killed with Hitler, tries to evade Hitler. This is also a bad romantic scene right here, because she tries to save Dr. Moss, and he doesn't leave. She's like, oh, I told you to leave, and he's like, I would never leave you. And she's like, that was dumb as hell. Let me see. So they finally, oh god, okay. On the cockpit of the ship, Dr. Reichstadt and Dr. Legason, the female doctor who sold out the other ones, she's going crazy. She's still in a daze from having her baby sucked out of her. She sees this grenade in the cockpit. She pretty much sets off this grenade, and it's a kind of a. This was a better romantic part to me because Dr. Reichstadt sees it. He doesn't do anything to stop it. He just goes with it. He's like, okay, I've done some pretty messed up stuff in my life. This is all. I'm okay with this because they were in love anyway. They were kind of in love. It was his kid, Dr. Reichstadt's kid. Yeah. So she sets off the bomb, which completely annihilates the whole cockpit with them and everybody. Sends the ship down to Earth, back to Earth, and the escape pod. They get in this plane escape pod. The two other doctors, and they're able to leave. So now they're on this snow Antarctic landmass, and out pops Hitler. Out pops robotic Hitler. So another fight with them guys. One of the doctors grabbed like a syringe filled with the bacteria, so you know he has it. They fight him, not going too well, but one, like Dr. Moss, jumps on his back and puts the syringe of bacteria inside of this little tube robot Hitler guy. So you get to see like smoke's coming up, think he's dying, and he slowly like floats down to the bottom of the sea. While sitting there, waiting to be rescued, Dr. Moss proposes to Dr. Morgan. And that's the end. That's how it ends. Like, they're just sitting in the snow, and he proposes after all this. Now, the credits roll. At the very end of the credits, something is still there. Out at the very bottom is covered in sand, but basically robot's hands coming out from the bottom, and you get to see the submarine light like pan on it, and then like it ends. But that's it. I'm sorry this took so long. It took way longer than it was. That should be. I guess there's just too much about this film not to talk about. I'm sorry I took so long. Leave any comment suggestions down at the bottom. I'll be sure to get back to you. Thank you guys for watching and all your time with this video. Thank you. Have a great day, you guys. I'll see you guys again very soon. Hopefully in shorter videos. Thank you.